Good morning and welcome to Unity Way Church. My name is Reverend Mike Schoonover, and I invite you and say thank you for showing up at our YouTube channel here. I'm the minister here at Unity Way Church in Vista, California, and I invite you to this service knowing that it will be a blessing to you whenever you may watch it, also knowing that you are already a blessing to us, and we know that to be so. If you would please join me in our opening affirmation. This is from Wings of Prayer, and this is from Daily Word, December the 6th, 1933. Disease is powerless when we understand the powerfulness of health. Just invite you to take that divine idea in. Disease has no power. It's powerless. Allow that word to really sink into your solar plexus. Anything that is unlike the divinity within us truly has no power unless we consciously give it power. And how we give that power away is by being in anxiety, frustration, or stress. So let us let that just fall away and let us know that health is our birthright. As we go into this month of December, let us know that we are healthy and we are created from a divine and perfect Christ pattern. As good metaphysicians, we know there's only one power and one presence, one life, one substance, actually only one health. And that health is the radiant health within each and every one of our souls. So despite appearances, what you may be dealing with now, know that the substance within everything is God's substance. And we acknowledge that power of the divinity within us. It truly transforms those atoms and molecules and puts us into alignment with divine health. And if you believe that high truth calling with me, I invite you to use a mantra we use here at our church, which is, thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. This is the second week in Advent, and we light this candle for peace. A little bit of history of Advent. Advent includes an Advent calendar. There's different things you can do besides just lighting a candle. They have Advent calendars, again, lighting a candle or a wreath. It's also, you can get a special daily devotion. I know Unity puts out a devotion for the month of December that focuses on those or these ideas of Advent too. Also, you can do a Kris Kringle. Also, setting up Christmas decorations with the theme of Advent, or just having some green around you. Green represents that strength and divine life force. So I invite you to be still and taking this affirmation as I speak it as a higher understanding of what truth can mean to each and every one of us. Peace. I light this candle for peace. Affirming peace in every heart, we become committed to radiate peace onto everyone we meet today. Let's again just breathe that truth in. We are peace. I'll be discussing more peace in my talk this morning, but know that peace is your nature. And we know that to be so in the name of the indwelling Christ. And we just say, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. And now here is Mickey with our daily word.
Good morning. The word for today is peace, and the affirmation is centered in God. I am a peaceful presence. Stepping away from the busyness of holiday preparations and the important work that must be completed before year's end, I continue my Advent journey by practicing peace in the present moment wherever I am. I am gracious with store clerks and servers in restaurants. I add positive, peaceful thoughts to conversations. When I'm traveling, I bless other drivers with whom I share the road and my fellow passengers on public transportation. Peace flows from that place in consciousness where God's presence fills my awareness. I need not find a quiet corner. When I am willing, anywhere can be a peaceful sanctuary. The peace of God refreshes me and goes with me as I return to the activities of the day. Wherever I go, whatever I am doing, I am a peaceful presence. And from Psalms 29:11, may the Lord give strength to his people. May the Lord bless his people with peace. And again, the affirmation is, centered in God, I am a peaceful presence. Thank you.
Thank you, Mickey. And that's a perfect, of course, daily word for us, because we're weaving into this Sunday and all the Sundays in the month of December, this idea of Advent and how we can use these divine ideas, truly incorporate them in our life. Before we do that, though, getting into my talk, I'd like to sync up with Silent Unity. Silent Unity is a divine idea. It's a divine idea that is available to all of us. So I'd like to remember right now back at Unity Village in Missouri, it's called Unity Village too, it used to be called Unity Farm, but Unity Village in the Silent Unity Chapel, you have a person holding that high sacred space for all the prayer claims. Once the prayer claims are received, however they're received by electronic or by letter or by mail, or by telegram or anything like that, they're always with a presence. They're never left alone. I think that's very important. So I'd like to bless those prayer claims. We know that God is blessing them now. We also bless that soul that's holding that high watch. Since 1890, somebody has been holding that sacred space, believing in the truth of answered prayer. Especially as we go into this month of December, a lot of different things can come up to be healed or reviewed. Let us hold that sacred space and send peace to all those prayer claims right now. And by the power of understanding of our metaphysical teachings, I like to bring some of that energy from the Silent Unity Chapel and bring it into the sanctuary where we are this morning. And as it permeates this room and goes out over our buildings, out to wherever you may be, may you feel that you're illumined. May you feel the peace that comes when you have remembered that you truly are the Christ of your own life. And if you believe that truth, I invite you to, again, use the mantra we use here at Unity Way Church, which is, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. Oh, I picked a wonderful little comic for you. And as you can see, it's a cat, and the cat is taking a selfie. And if you look in the background, you can see the trees smashed over. The whole living room is a complete mess. And the cat is speaking to himself, and it says, best Christmas card photo ever. Click, click, click. So the cat is taking a picture of all his damage that he did. You know that is so funny. Sit in your seats. You keep jumping around like that, you're going to want to go to the restroom. I know how funny these things are, but just hold on. Have another milk dud. It'll be okay. I'd like to share a few jokes with you, and this is from my minister's joke page. Jack and his sisters, early one morning, were coming down the stairs. It was Christmas morning. Oh, the piles of presents were everywhere, and the children could see them. They were just vibrating with excitement with all the presents under the tree and over by the sofa. Suddenly, a loud bang came from the family's chimney. Bang, bang. Jack and his sisters were shocked. And it sounds like it was coming from the fireplace. And Jack said, do you think Santa's still stuck in there? Oh, you know Santa would be stuck in there because he has a round pot belly. You know that is so funny. It's Christmas humor. Go with the flow. Go with the eggnog. Go with the candy. Come on, just have some fun here. It's all good. And one more joke from my minister's joke page. How can you tell that Santa is really near? Think about that. How could you tell really that Santa is near? You feel his presence all around. Oh, you know that's a play on words. Oh, ooh, ho, ho, ho. Just stay in your seats. It is all good. You know, humor is good for the soul, and we all need to laugh a little bit more, even if we have some things that maybe don't always show up right at Christmas. We do the best we can, and we chuckle. This morning, my talk title in the second week of Advent is Inner Peace. And what I'd like to stress during this talk and invite you into a relationship with this idea of peace maybe in a different way than you have viewed it before, or how you can view it a little bit differently this morning. Peace in Hebrew and Aramaic, the word is shalom, which means peace. But the word peace and shalom can also have different meanings in the Hebrew language. Peace also means harmony. It means wholeness. It means completeness. It means prosperity. It means welfare, tranquility. And it's used as an idiom also when you're leaving or coming. So instead of saying hello or goodbye, they say shalom. So it's a very deep, meaningful word. And I'd like to take some of those understandings as we take a higher look or a more deep look into what peace, true inner peace, can look for us as we're moving on in our Advent season. I'd like to share some wisdom from you, and this is from the Dalai Lama. Where ignorance is our master, there is no possibility of real peace. That's called truth, and he's absolutely right. Because if we're living in ignorance, another word for ignorance could be sin, if we're not living to our potential, we're not going to show up the way we want. And if we're not going to show up as who we were created to be, we're surely not going to live in a world of peace. Peace is about calming our minds, whether it's Christmas or not Christmas. Are you living in a calm mind? Are you living in a peaceful understanding? Are you living in a state that no matter what is going on in your life, you know peace and you're holding to it? You're not going to let it go. Peace is the ability that we need to reflect within our body temple to calm our minds, keep our thoughts serene, and we do find this peace only from within. Inner peace, metaphysically, can only come from within. And I believe peace is really a forerunner to each and every one of our 12 powers too. Because you can have faith and zeal and order in life, but you also need to have peace. You need to have that balance in your life. And that inner peace is within our souls. But we have to use it. We have to work with it. We want to really enliven that divine idea of inner peace within us. We carry peace within when we have the ability to remain calm and joyful at all times. That's right, I said all times, regardless of outside circumstances or what life offers at any given moment. See, if in the world's understanding of peace, peace is only defined as peace when everything's going exactly the way my ego thinks it should be going. That's not the peace we're talking about. That's a third-dimensional idea peace. That's a fragmented peace. We're thinking from a fourth-dimensional understanding, which is perfect peace, that regardless of what is going on around us, or behind us, or above us, or below us, we live in a state of inner peace. Inner peace is being mentally and spiritually at peace. It's freeing our minds from worry of negative thoughts. This Sunday, I invite you to think of any negative thoughts that pop into your mind during this Christmas season or this time of the year, whatever it may be, and ask you if you're willing to let them go. Are you willing to, instead of holding on to those thoughts of anxiety or fear or whining, to hold on to the idea of inner peace? And let that be the core from which you think, you feel, and you image daily. Peace remains a goal around the world. Lifelong search for inner peace challenges us to learn about ourselves. See, we're only going to find peace if we better understand our own selves, our own consciousness, our own subconscious mind. That's where we're going to find this peace understanding. And we also evolve with these understandings. We evolve with all the seasons. And as we go through the different seasons, I think it's symbolic also of the evolution of consciousness. So every year we revisit Advent in these divine ideas. We had hope and faith last week. This week we have peace, that we are open to a higher understanding, a different way of viewing this concept within us, especially from a truth perspective. We embark on our own journey. See, here's the thing. The journey is within you. Do you want a journey with inner peace, or do you want a journey with more inner turmoil? We get to make that decision ourselves. After all, we're the creators of our own past and present, and we need to agree that peace is within us. It's a part of our journey, and it's the beginning, it's the middle, and the end. And we avoid one of the biggest challenges we have in this third dimensional world. We avoid trying to change others. How much time is wasted? And it never works. In metaphysics, our goal is to change us and our understanding, our feelings, our emotional nature, our wisdom nature, our Christ nature, to allow to be more really in control of how we're showing up in our own thought patterns and ideas. Changing the weather, I was reading where they were saying changing the weather, thinking that we can change the weather is kind of like changing other people's practice. Focus on yourself. Focus within. Focus on the inner peace within you and what it can mean for you this Advent season, this December 2023. This is from our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, and he gives us a real crisp definition again of what peace is. Peace, harmony and tranquility, derived from awareness of the Christ consciousness. The Christ consciousness is already within us. We just have to awaken to it and then stay awake. So the idea of inner peace is already within us. It's a component of the Christ consciousness. May this be the December that we remember this and claim it as our own inheritance. Steadfast peace and peaceful affirmations bring harmony to our body structure, opening a way for true alignment, for healthy conditions in our mind, our body, and our soul. So we just don't want peace in our health. We want it in our prosperity too. We want it in all aspects of our own consciousness. Peace means different things to many people at different times of their lives. First, find what peace means to you. What does peace mean to me? What does peace mean to us? That's the first thing we need to define as we go forward in this Advent season. And this is from the New Testament. This is the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Are you a peacemaker? Are we peacemakers? As students of truth, we should be peacemakers. That should always be upmost in our consciousness, regardless of what activity we're doing. We're here to be in the flow. We're here to be a force of encouragement. We're in this life experience to focus on the supremacy of good. And if we're focusing on the supremacy of good, because we believe God is good, we believe our God is peace, then we have the ability to truly bring it and pour it into, again, any place where we seem there's snags or there's some knots in our life. Inner peace is a state of mind which is calm, quiet, and serene. Are you calm? Are you quiet? Are you serene? You should be. Because if you find inner peace, metaphysically defined as I'm speaking about, you are right where you need to be right now as you're listening to this YouTube service. You're here to hear these words. They're here to be soaked in by your consciousness so you can absorb them and truly they can melt into your life and be a part of your nature. Inner peace is having the ability to reconnect to the supreme self within us, which is eternally at peace. I think sometimes we don't realize the Christ nature within us that's going to be born in Bethlehem is really, it's a presence of peace. So the birthing of this Christ essence is also the birthing of a deeper and more real, authentic understanding of what peace can mean for each and every one of us. So you can't be in the Christ consciousness if you're not living in a state of peace. Because if you're living in a state of worry, and you're living in a state of conflict, and you're living in a state of anxiety, and you're living in a state of whatever, that's not going to put you into the vibration of peace. We're here to live in that state of peace. This is from our co-founder, Myrtle Fillmore. The whole is revealed as a wondrous picture of the soul's progress. The future is what we make it. See, let's make a future based on peace. Let's make this day be rested and rooted in peace, inner peace. That means peace that we have realized within ourselves. We've experienced the vibration of peace. Once you've experienced the vibration of metaphysical peace, which I'm speaking about, true inner peace, an indwelling peace that you know, your life has changed. And every aspect of your consciousness is changed. All your circumstances change because it changes the vibration in your aura, which again is the field of attraction. It's all caused by a bolder and more authentic idea of inner peace within us. We will find peace not by trying to escape our problems. See, metaphysics is not about escaping problems. That's a victim consciousness. Peace is found in realizing that despite your problems, you can walk through them. You can confront them with a courage. Then we will find an inner peace within us. We will find an aspect of our own self that allows us to be courageous. Courageous with the inner peace that we know to be. We claim it and know it despite appearances of what's going on around us. We know what's going on around us, but we don't surrender it. We don't surrender our peace to a third dimensional world. Can't do it. It's not the peace that we offer. That's not the Christ peace that is birthed in Bethlehem. We find peace not only in not escaping, but also in denial. See, there's the idea that, I'm just not going to look at it. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to deal with it. You know, if you have a faucet that's leaking, you need to deal with it. And I think sometimes people see peace is staying in the avoidance of something that needs to be taken care of. You know, we're not just really a lump on a log. We're here to engage in our life, which means we need to take action. But we can always take action in a consciousness of inner peace. This day we let everything go, our lives, and we feel the perfect peace of ordered states within us. When you think of peace, I invite you to think of your power of divine order, of harmony, because they go very much in sequence. Peace is about being on a pattern, a peace pattern consciousness within us, which means our thinking and our feeling, our emotions are all in alignment with true inner peace. And if we're not at that space, and we bring everything back to that true inner peace, that divine idea. This is from Robert Schuller. You cannot have peace of mind if you are in hostility with God or your neighbor. And I really believe Pastor Schuller is actually correct, because many of us will say we're not really hostile to our God, but our neighbor, well, they deserve it because they're sinners, or they haven't made it right for me, or whatever our excuse may be. If you're going to know peace, inner peace, you ought to also be a student of forgiveness, because forgiveness allows us to reclaim what's important to us. Forgiveness allows us to cut the cords that keep us in anxiety. And when we cut those cords, we find an inner peace within us. Remember, peace is related in many ways to forgiveness, because you're in control of your own consciousness. And we know that peace has nothing to do with what's going around you. It's an inside job. God has written and ordered a peace law within each and every one of our souls. In metaphysics, we call it an energy of the universe. And when we know that peace, we know it. We can feel it. We feel anchored. We have a freedom. We have a freedom. And it's not that we ignore what's going on around us, okay? If the cake is burnt, the cake is burnt. But we're not going to let that cake being burnt or whatever the snag is to destroy our day, to take our peace and tranquility away. See, that's living in an Adam mind, a duality. We're not going to do that. We're going to say, well, the cake burnt, I'm going to do it again. And this time I'm going to make it so it doesn't burn. I'm going to be more attentive to how long it's in the oven, whatever it may be. See, that's how we respond. That's how we respond in an inner peace consciousness. In the final analysis, peace laws can't be broken. What I'm sharing with you here is peace is really a law. And once you're in it, it really can't be broken. Now, you can leave the peace idea and go into worry. You can leave the idea of peace and go into frustration. You can leave this inner peace and go into just all this worrisome thinking or whatever it may be. But see, you're taking yourself out of that frequency. You're taking yourself out of the peace that is within you. It's kind of like having a cord and you plug it into the plug. The plug is where the peace is coming from. We plug in our souls. If I unplug the cord, you see, you can't blame whatever's attached to the cord for not having peace, is because it's not plugged in. See, we're the ones that unplug things. So this Sunday, may we be reminded that we need to stay plugged into an inner peace understanding. I'd like to share with you a story that brings out this idea. It's a Taoist story, and it says, a Taoist tells of an old man who accidentally fell into a river with rapids, leading to a very high and dangerous waterfall. Onlookers feared for his life as he was flowing down this river. Miraculously, he came out alive and unharmed downstream at the bottom of the falls. That means he went over the falls. He went over the falls. People asked him, how did he manage to survive? I mean, it was so dangerous, all the rocks. How did he survive? And his answer was, I accommodated myself to the water, not the water to me. Without thinking, I allowed myself to be shaped by it. Plunging into the swirl, I came out with the swirl. This is how I survived. And see, that's how we deal with peace. We put ourselves in the flow of peace. Again, we put ourselves in the flow of peace. And the only reason he was able to go over those falls and did not have any harm or bodily harm or injuries is because he allowed himself to conform to the flow of the water. Symbolically and metaphysically, the story is really, the water is peace. It's the vibration of peace in our life. And the man symbolically is a divine idea. So you have a divine idea, but if you don't conform to the water of peace, then you're not going to get the same results. And I think many times when we live in anxiety and frustration, even if you think it's justified, it's not. We're still going to have to go over those falls. We're still going to have to go over that cliff. We're still going to have to go get sucked into that current. But if we work with the water flow, we work with the vibrational energy of peace, we can surely make it to the other side. And we can get through a lot of waterfalls. We can get through a lot of situations in our life that we maybe don't like. But we know we can learn lessons and we continue forward, never losing sight that the peace, the inner peace, is always within us and shows us how to show up in even tough situations. This is from the Buddha. Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. I'd like to challenge us this week. Every word that you speak, can you make a commitment that the word can be rooted in peace? Sounds a lot easier to say than do. Because that means whatever our communications are, we're going to root it within a higher understanding of inner peace. Peace allows life to be simplified and is one of the steps of inner peace. See, I think we keep this idea that things had to be complicated. They had to be very invested. It takes so much of this or so much of that. Let's let that go. Let's let that fall away. And let's conform to peace. Let's conform to the current of peace where we are. And we're all going to go in different streams of peace, of course. And we're all each going to have our own waterfall that we are symbolically going to go over. But each person, again, is conforming to the peace energy within them, conforming to the water of their own life. So don't make your peace someone else's peace. Find your own peace and allow and encourage other people to find their inner peace too. A persistent simplification of our life helps us to reclaim so many aspects of our Adamic nature. It helps knit us back together into our perfect pattern of peace, of wholeness. And this is from the Jewish scriptures, the great book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 14. Turn away from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. This Sunday, are you willing to make a commitment to seek peace in your life? To seek an inner peace in life. And the inner peace that they're talking about in Scripture here is a peace that's metaphysically defined as an unconditioned peace. It's not a peace, well, if you do this and you say this and you make me happy and you do this again, then maybe I'll be at peace. That's not how it works. That's a conditioned peace. That's what we teach in metaphysics. That's the peace that leads to massive misunderstanding. An unconditioned peace is the inner peace of our true nature. That no matter what we're walking through, no matter what storm we have fallen into, no matter what whirlpools we're being sucked into, we're going to go with the flow. We're going to go with the energy flow of our understanding of inner peace. Today, peace refers to sometimes as harmony with no hostility. One of the definitions of peace is no conflict. Well, I'm going to invite you to take a big, deep breath. Life has a lot of different conflicts, but I am here to say if you meet every conflict with real inner peace, an inner peace of knowingness, you will make your way through that situation much faster. You will glide through that situation. And that's really what this time of Advent can do for us. Inner peace, we're talking about our ability to find a kind of tranquility within us that changes the way we see the world and how we interact with others. See, metaphysics is all about changing us. But as we change us, a vibration, we change the things around us. That means we show up differently in circumstances. It means we show up differently in family relationships. It means we show up differently when we're getting gas at St. Arco. It means we're showing up in an energy of inner peace. And it's something you have to claim. And again, it's an unconditioned inner peace. If it's conditioned, well, you got to do this, or they got to do that, or they better make me happy, or they better not do that again, that's not peace. That's a recipe for true anything but tranquility in your life. Inner peace, we start talking about our ability to be kind. Are you willing to be kind this December? Are you willing to take kindness into your understanding of inner peace? I encourage you to do that. Some of the ways that we can find peace individually during this, not only Advent season, but during the whole year, is we can listen to music for healing. Listen to healing songs. Listen to some classical music. Listen to something that brings soothing energies into your consciousness. Studies have found that relaxing music can really help us a lot. And especially if you have a child or even adults. Sometimes when I was raised, they were called ants in your pants, but now they call it ADHD. And it allows us to really calm down, go into focus. We're not going to focus on the problem. We're going to first focus on inner peace. And once we're in that state, then we can go forward to deal with whatever the situation is before us. You can also experience a deep inner peace by deep breathing. Most of us are very shallow breathers. That's how most of us breathe, and that's not really the way we breathe when we're in inner peace. We need to go for walks, create the space. We need to declutter. I know you don't like that word declutter, but when you declutter your life environment, your workspace, your kitchen, your drawers, your garage, your life changes because you can get at the things you want more quickly. And it's a good feeling of moving that energy that's not stale. You're moving in the flow of energy and peace. It means self-acceptance. It means to schedule times in your life for mindfulness. Do you pencil in meditation each week, each day, hopefully twice a day? See, only you can pencil that in. And every meditation or time you spend in the silence or you're doing your devotions, it should be anchored again in this idea of inner peace. must be in inner peace, because otherwise you're not going to get the richness of really whatever the material is that you're studying. Just because you light a candle doesn't mean you're going to be in peace. You have to bring yourself back into that perfect inner peace alignment within your soul. And this is from the musician Carlos Santana. The most valuable possession you can own is an open heart. The most powerful weapon you can be is an instrument of peace. This Sunday, you're willing to become an instrument of peace in your own life, however that shows up in your life. I'm not saying you got to go out and play concerts like Carlos Santana, but to take that idea, how can you be an instrument of peace? A real instrument of peace. To attain inner peace, we must actually give our lives, we must live our lives, and not just for the possessions that we have. There's nothing wrong with possessions, as long as they don't control us. Because if our possessions start controlling us, we truly lose our inner peace. And I believe we all know what that feels like, and that's not what we want. When in life we have this alignment, our beliefs in the way we live, not only does it change us to begin again, but to embrace, to rebirth this idea of inner peace within us. Are you willing to peel away whatever layers of the skin of peace, which you thought before this talk or last year, or whenever you think of how you define the word peace, to take on a new aspect, a new component, a new energy vibration? Ask your soul, what does inner peace mean for you? How does that orderliness show up in your life? Because if you're going to show up as an authentic, true student, you need to show up in inner peace. And this is from Virginia Woolf. You cannot find peace by avoiding life. I think many times, again, the ego within us wants us to avoid life, stay away, stay away. You know, you can't be alive and stay away. Avoiding life is not the answer. What we need to do is we have to live our life in a consciousness through inner peace. That's really how we live our life and really live the best life that we possibly could. We need to mentally and spiritually claim these ideas and thoughts in our own life. We don't want to waste any more time and energy on divided thinking, on dualities. Let those riddles go for the past. Today, let's live in inner peace. Today, let's live in inner peace. Today, let's take a pause, embrace, and really live in inner peace. And this is from Malay Yousafzai. I believe in peace. I believe in mercy. I believe the peace that I'm speaking about metaphysically, the peace that was demonstrated in the life of the master teacher Jesus. Not only do you have peace because you also live in mercy, because you first have self-mercy. You care about yourself. You don't put yourself at the end of the train. You're important too. And that might surprise some of you, because I'm not talking about an ego narcissistic understanding, but you need to have self-mercy, because when you have self-mercy, you have self-respect. And when you have self-respect, you truly can find your Christ understanding of inner peace. It's part of our soul. It's part of our nature, but we have to claim it. It might be our inheritance, but we have to claim it. Again, peace is not the absence of war. It's a virtue. It's a state of mind. It's a disposition within us. It's benevolence. It's confidence. And it's a justice. And not a justice how the world is set up. It's a justice that believes in cause and effect. That we live in an orderly universe. That we can say, like Unity used to say as their mantra in the early 50s, God is blessing us now, despite appearances. Can you say that in the midst of a conflict? Because if you can, then I can encourage you and really support you that you truly have found inner peace within your own soul. And this is from Unity Minister J. Sig Paulson. Rejoice in the growing strength of your own inner selfhood. Stand in the stronghold of your integrity. What kind of integrity do you have? I know you have the Christ integrity within you. And if you have the Christ integrity, you know inner peace. You know inner peace. You feel it, you know it, and you live it. Because it helps you stay alive. It helps you stay alive to the divinity within each and every one of us, and allows us to see the divinity in the world around us. We need to be true to ourselves We need to be true to ourselves. There's no need to please other people. I think many times we become doormats. We're not here to be doormats. That's a martyr and a victim. That's a martyr in a victim consciousness. A martyr in a victim consciousness does not know inner peace. And if they know peace, it's defined by conditions. Again, if you do this, and you do that, and you do this, and you do that, and you do this, you do that, and this, and that, and this, and this, I might do this, and then I'll find peace. That's not the peace I'm talking about. That's the pieces the world gives, and that's not what we want to hold on to. That's not what brings healing in to our prosperity issues or our health issues. Let's let that idea just kind of float away. We need to be assertive and take control of our own lives. And of course, being assertive means to be self-assertive. You speak up when you feel that you can't, in a situation, show up as authentically, that you have a challenge. There's nothing wrong with speaking up, but you can do it in a peaceful way. You don't have to bang on the counter and kick the door. You can do it in a peaceful manner and a calm voice, because that's how we truly show up as we are when we're living in a consciousness of inner peace. And it allows us truly to be in a society, to change society, but again, ultimately, we change ourselves first. And in closing, I'd like to say, all the accomplishments in the world cannot replace inner peace. I don't care what you possess. I don't care how many cars you have. I don't care how many plane trips you've been on. I don't care where you've been to Mitsubishi, if you've been to the Vatican, if you've been to Jerusalem, you've been to St. Petersburg, you've been to London, you've been to Winnipeg. That is not worth really not discovering your peace within you. Because I think many times we have to go places to find peace. And I'm not saying you can't go on trips and enjoy trips in the beautiful world we live in, but just because you go this place, or you go to this holy place, or you participate in this holy quote, something that brings out the spirit within you, if you don't start off before the journey with inner peace, I guarantee you, wherever you're going to go, whoever you're going to see, whoever's ring you're going to kiss, whoever you're going to be under the shadow of, whatever that master teacher is, it's not going to have the effect that you're looking for. You need to find inner peace within yourself. This Sunday, let's decide for ourselves to live the life we were meant to live. And so as we go into the ending of this talk, last week I spoke about, we have an Advent tool chest. And two of the tools we used last week were hope and faith. This week we had the tool peace. So hope and faith and peace. May those be the tools that we use in our tool chest today. Again, not to fix other people, but to work on ourselves so we can grow and expand. Let's use the tools. Let us truly embrace, hold on to, and let's squeeze out a higher understanding of what truly inner peace can mean to each and every one of us. And we just say, thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. This is the time in our service. We have the opportunity to share our love offerings, our gifts, and our tithes. I invite you to take whatever your gift may be and to imbue it with inner peace. Imbue it with your understanding of inner peace, whatever that might be. And by imbuing it, you're giving that energy to the gift. And you can go to unityway.com and get our physical address. And you can go to unityway.com and do electronic donation. And either way, we say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to this lesson. Thank you for being a part of our spiritual community here on YouTube. And we know we will be a blessing to peace to you, and you are already a blessing of peace for us. If you'd please join me. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive. We just say thank you, God. We say thank you, God, in deep peace. Our prayer protection. If we're going to be protected, we have to know that that protection is rooted in the inner peace that we have now claimed this morning. So as we say this prayer, the prayer of faith, let it allow this prayer to re-strengthen us and know that no matter what we face, peace is our nature. Peace is with every step that we take. If you'd please join me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. This is the second Sunday in Advent. This is the Sunday of peace. May this truly be a Sunday where you have revelations within your own consciousness that you have discovered inner peace. And I'll see you next Sunday. Have a great week, and may it be a week filled with peace. God bless.